Well, it's the last pre-season trial game, so I suppose you want to make it as near to a competitive game as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our last friendly, as you said, mate. We've got pretty much our full squad playing, so it's a good opportunity for players to put their best foot forward for round one. And yeah, we're looking for a good performance this week to build some confidence to go into that Wigan game.
Indeed so. I know it's a trial game, but as we've already alluded to, you want to make it as competitive as you can. But can you actually do that? Is that more an aspiration than an actuality?
Say again, sorry, mate. I missed that.
Yeah, sorry, I was a bit convoluted anyway. I know it's a trial game, but and you want to make it as competitive as you can. But can you actually do that? I mean, there's no points at stake.
Yeah, every game for me, and that's what I want to try and implement here is that we're always competing. So regardless of whether it be a friendly or a first, round one against Wigan, we need to compete hard. So whenever you put a jersey on in this club, you need to compete and you need to work hard for each other. So what'll happen is, we're not going to have the most perfect game in terms of execution. I probably know that now as the other coaches would, but what we're looking for is a team that works hard and competes, and that's what we're expecting.
Indeed so. How are you going to play the game? Are you going to treat it as a Super League game, try and replicate that as best as you can?
Yeah, for us, it's about being us. So we're going to have our identity of who we are with the ball and defensively. So, yeah, we'll play how we are. I'm a big believer in you need to have an identity of who you are, then the way you play the game. So we won't change too much from how we play our friendlies to the way we start the season. Obviously, we'll have some variations, and depending on who we play, some things up our sleeve, but we'll know who we are.
In terms of the first trial game you had, it was a mix and match, wasn't it? And lots of players coming on and lots of players going off. You don't get much out of a game if you do that, the one before the actual start, do you?
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, as I said, after the game. I thought that, credit to Featherston, they played extremely well. I was expecting a better performance from what we delivered, even though we had so many players playing. But there's no doubt you can't get too much momentum when you are chopping and changing your players. So we'll have our core squad playing some big minutes this week, who at this stage would be round one, but no one's guaranteed anything. We've got 22 players that'll play this week. So there's jerseys up for grabs, that's for sure.
Indeed so. As I always say, these are dangerous games because you don't want to pick any injuries up, do you? But there's always that risk, isn't there?
We don't talk about those. they're all part and parcel of the game, mate.
You don't talk about them, but I've got to, obviously.
Yeah, mate. It's unfortunately it's part of the game. You can get injuries at training, you can get injuries in a game. So, we prepared well in terms of getting the players in physical shape. They're in some really good physical shape. Hopefully minimise that.
Yeah, I was going to say, move on to how do you think your players are looking at this moment? Are some of them just ready for a run out?
Yeah, definitely. They want to play. Like, there's no doubt that we had, I think there was 11 players that didn't play in that first game who were looking forward to playing some rugby. Obviously, we're playing a quality side in Leeds, so it's a good stepping stone to that round one game against Wigan. We obviously want a good performance, and as I said before, get a little bit more confidence going into that round one game. But the way they've trained all preseason and definitely after the Fed game, it's been promising.
What about Leeds then as an opponent? You could have picked easier ones. Last year's beaten grand finalists. So do you think it's important that you do try and play against a side that are going to test you?
Absolutely. I think we play obviously Wigan round one, who, some people are tipping could win the competition this year. Leeds, another team that the experts are tipping will be up there. So for us, we want to play against the best, whether that be a friendly, whether that be in the Super League game. So I don't think we can get a better, stepping stone to that round one against Wigan. Leeds are a quality side, and it'll give us a good indication of where we're at, what we need to improve on. But it's not the be all end all in terms of the result. We're definitely looking for a performance though.
Where do you think you are at? Because that's an interesting expression. It's not the be all and end all.
Sorry, mate, would you say where we are?
Yeah, where do you think you are at this stage?
It's always hard to say. At this stage, we haven't played. This is our first friendly in terms of playing our top squad. So I can give you a better indication after the game. But there's no doubt, mate. We are like anyone. This stage of the year, we've had a strong preseason. The players have done everything that's been asked of them in terms of preseason. Now it's just about putting that into a game. So we'll get a better indication of where we are after the game. But again, it's a friendly. Naturally, you build. You could win the first 5 games, but it's not where you start; it's where you finish. So we want to make sure that we keep building throughout the year. But as I said, every single game we play, we'll be competing.
What are you looking for from the players that didn't play last time at Featherstone? They're experienced players. It's not as if it's the first time that they've ever, gone into the last game before the real show starts, is it?
No. So what I'm looking for is pretty much what we've done at training for the last 4 months. What we've done at training has been enough to say that we're going to do well this year in terms of where we want to be on the table. Where that is, it'll sort itself out in time. What these players bring, the other players, is confidence and belief. There's no doubt that you bring in the amount of games that wasn't in that team last time, and you bring that back to training. There's no coincidence. There's a big spike in energy and belief within the group, and that's the beauty of having the experienced players that we have.
Obviously, Willem touched on the injuries a little bit, but how's Elliot Minchella doing? Obviously, it's been a few weeks since his injury was announced. Is he ticking along nicely?
He is, yeah. He'll play this weekend. So he had
wow, perfect.
Strong preseason up until his injury, and he's back, mate, this week. So looking forward to watching him transfer what he's done in the preseason into this game.
That's a quick recovery then. I know when I spoke to him, he was still targeting round 1, but he was a bit unsure. So that must be really good for you guys as well. And it's a credit to our women, probably the physio team have worked.
Absolutely. It shows where Elliot's at in terms of his professionalism. Injuries like that can take longer if the player doesn't have some accountability. Naturally, our staff did a great job. Elliot's the one that put himself in this position to be able to play. And as I said, it wouldn't have been nice for him, mate, if he didn't play this game or even round 1, because he's done a lot of hard work. So we're looking forward to watching him.
And I know obviously it is only a pre-season friendly and you're going to get a little taste of the Craven Park atmosphere, but it's going to be another box tick for you. Are you looking forward to your home bow?
Can't wait. Yeah. I've heard a lot through obviously the television, and I know how passionate the fans are. So it's a great opportunity for us to put in a performance that the crowd and the fans are proud of, even though it's been a friendly. But obviously we're looking forward to that Wigan game, that round 1 game. But hopefully we can get as many fans here on Sunday to watch us put in a performance.
Yeah, wonderful. One more, mate, before I pass you on to James. I just wanted your thoughts on the new rules regarding concussion, obviously like naming an 18th man in case you pick up 3 head knocks in a game. Are you a big fan of that? I know you was watching closely last year and Rovers were the team most affected by concussions and injuries in 2022. Do you think it's a beneficial move moving forward?
Yeah, you do. You need to have players available. Naturally, you can't predict games. You can't predict how many concussions you're going to have. Hopefully you don't have any concussions, but unfortunately they happen. So yeah, you need to be a team shouldn't be penalised as such because sometimes it's unlucky, isn't it, when you get concussion. So yeah, I like the 18th man.
Perfect. Well, best of luck for Sunday. Enjoy your home debut, and I'll pass you on to James, mate. Speak to you weekend.
Thanks, Joe. See you, mate.
Hey, Willie.
Hey, James. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just a couple of quick ones. How close are you to knowing you're 17 for round 1?
It's difficult. Like, obviously, we're going to look at we've got what we think would be the round 1 team. So there's an opportunity for players this week to go show what they've done at training to transfer that into the game. But that can change. There's a lot can change. Unfortunately, injuries, poor form, suspension. But yeah, we've got an idea at the moment what we think would be our round one team, but it's not, as I say, mate, like after last game, there was players that were probably in contention for round one that aren't now. So, as I said before, like we want to go out, we want to compete hard. There's a few sort of key focus areas for us internally that we want to be good at. And if they are, then they'll get that chance at round one.
Yeah. How many players are missing out then from that last game? Because you were quite disappointed, weren't you, with how that went?
Yeah, so we're going to go with 22. And there's some players there that, might have that some of the younger guys obviously, played well, but unfortunately we can only pick 22 players. So it's hard at the moment. This is a time where you need to pick obviously 22 this weekend, and there's 17, but I don't think people, some players didn't do themselves any favors after that Featherston game. But some have got opportunity this week to redeem themselves. So it's a good opportunity.
What are you looking for in terms of improvement areas? Which ones have you identified?
Yeah, so as I said before, obviously, I think we need to be. Doesn't matter who we play. We can play in a car park. We need to be competing. That needs to be our mentality. Doesn't matter where we play, who we play. Competing hard every week and effort. So at a stage that's got to be a non-negotiable. But for us, the way we've trained, we didn't transfer that at all. The way we played with the ball, obviously, being not scoring a try, I think highlighted that. We were too conservative. We didn't shape up the way we wanted it to, and we just, to be honest, it looked like we played heavy. And we play within ourselves. So I want the players to play with some freedom and show the fans what they've done all preseason, which I know they will. As I say, like it's one game. We had a lot of younger guys playing. We're chopping and changing with interchanges, but I will never shy away from, being honest with the performance where if I don't think we're where we needed to be.
Have you been pleased with the response to those players? Because although you haven't named them, I'm sure you've spoken to them personally and had discussions with them. And have they shown improvements in training and a will to want to improve as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We had our best session today. So when you've got a team that players probably think that might be the top 13 playing against another team, that can cause players to I suppose, not be happy and not train at a high level. We had the opposite today, which is what you want to see as a coach. So, the games change frequently. And the guys that are in at the moment, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're better players than the other players. It means at the moment they're getting an opportunity where they need to take it. And whoever gets their opportunity the week after or whenever that may be, they need to take it. Because as I said to you, early days, we've got a really competitive squad. And that's the beauty, I think, of especially in our forwards and across the board we do. Like we've got a number of fullback options, halfback options, back row options. So if you're not where you need to be, someone else will take your job. But I'm also a big believer, and you need to have the chance to redeem yourself as well. So which a few are going to get this week.
Yeah, just on Leeds quickly. Have you crossed paths with Rowan Smith before in your career? I'm not saying all Australians know all Australians, but
not really, mate. No, I've spoken to him over messages and things like that last year and then this year. So, obviously doing a great job over there in Leeds. Comes from a rugby league family, very intelligent, smart family, in Brian and Tony. So, similar sort of coach from what I can see, creative thinker. But looking forward to coming up against Leeds and this weekend.
When you're approaching these trial games, and they are just trial games, do you speak to coaches before, get a gauge of how strong they're going, and maybe go off that?
Yeah, we obviously, how many players, what are we thinking of how many players to use, and obviously this game will be being the last trial. There's no doubt that I'm sure that Leeds will use their strongest team as well, going into the first one, but I'm not too concerned, to be honest, of what they're gonna use. It just depends on it's all about what we do. So we're going to go in with a side that there's 22 players there. They're going to put their hand up for the Wigan game. But in terms of talking around, number of players, we do that.
Good stuff. Thanks, Willie. I won't keep you any longer. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye.